For my presentation, I chose to use the Economic Naturalist. The Economic Naturalist was written by Robert H. Frank on April 8th of 2008. So to start off with, who is Robert H. Frank? So Robert H. Frank is the Henrietta Johnson Lewis Professor of Management at the Cornell University's Graduate School of Management. He is also a regular columnist for the New York Times. So we're going to start off with thinking, what is the Economic Naturalist? What does it do? What does it talk about? So in this book, Robert H. Frank employs basic economic thoughts that answer everyday life questions that intrigue people. Those questions are going to be things such as, why do drive up and walk up cash machine like ATM machines have braille dots? So an answer to this would be that drive up ATM keypads and walk up both have the braille dots because it's cheaper to make the same machine. So as well as going through with that, Frank also uses the Economic Naturalist to introduce many ideas such as cost-benefit principle, the no cash on the table, and the law of one price. So, as we learn to talk about this, other things that we learn are going to be a question such as, why are round-trip fares from Orlando to Kansas City higher than Kansas City to Orlando? So once the reader begins to think like an economist in this situation, they are going to realize that travelers from Kansas City to Orlando pay less because they are usually price-sensitive tourists with many choices of a destination, while travelers going from Orlando to Kansas City are almost always going to Kansas City for family or business reasons. These are some important ideas simply because everyday society works as an economist thought process. So even if we do not realize that it's going to be an economist thought process, it is. Things such as, why does this cost like this? Why does this cost this much? Like, why are gas prices going up? Why are milk prices going up? Why is this dropping? All of those thoughts are going to lead to economist thoughts, and the more people think about them, the more they're going to think like an economist would. During all of that, we're also going to realize that in any situation that economists are everyday thinkers, and they're going to think of simple things such as our gas prices, our milk prices, everything to do with price has to do with the economist and the economy. Other than that, my thoughts on this are that the whole situation, the whole book, the reading I read on it, it makes sense in the long run. Maybe right now I would think about it and be like, I don't understand why they do that way. And then the more I could think about it, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like at first, whenever I read about the braille being on ATM drive-ups, and I was like, but they can't see to drive. Why would they be there? And then I went and read on into finding out that they're on there because they're cheaper to make the same one for walk-up and drive-through. Otherwise, I wouldn't have realized anything like that. Like it would have never crossed my mind that they made them the same because it was cheaper. Other than that, there are other ways for people to think about the economy. All in all, though, they're all going to tie into the real world issue going on today, and people are going to think about, oh, why is this like this? Why is this like this? But that is all I have for today, so thank you.